Human trafficking these days in Lincoln really does take the form of the sex trade. And there are any number of people who are caught up into it and are basically, at this point, forced into it, not only by circumstances, but by the control of other people.
The police department came to us and said, we're going to try a different tactic to solve this problem, and we'd like to partner with you. And we didn't really have a strategy. We didn't really have a plan. We just knew, okay, this is something that's about to happen. But I don't think anybody thought it was going to happen anytime soon.
I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, born and raised here. But right after high school, I got pregnant with my first child, and then once again, back to back, 2 other kids after that. So I just worked, bounced around different jobs. The pay never went up. I was still getting paid $8 an hour. What led up to me being on Backpage and putting up an ad was, I know my rent's coming up real soon, and have all these bills, and I can probably easily make at least $900 that night. So I went on my first call and basically just walked into a situation where it was an undercover, and I just kind of just pleaded with them and just basically started talking to them and telling them, I'm only doing this so I can pay my rent, and if there's any other ways you guys can help me out or something,
Rather than take her to jail, just sat down and talked with her and said, this is what we're trying to do. Can we help you, and can you help us?
They wanted to know if I had anybody making me or forcing me into it, and I told them it was strictly independent, They told me that there's a way they can help me out. They just told me to call them in the morning and talk to them about my situation, and they can help me out with my rent.
We were a little bit taken off guard when we got the call here and said, hey, we actually have this girl who is somebody who is in desperation, and she's resorted to this way of life out of desperation, 3 kids to feed, no money, no income. The very first thought I had was, Nikki, this is her expertise. She knows the street, she knows the resources that are out there. She'll be able to relate to this girl and her story and just connect with her.
Later that afternoon, she came in and we talked about her situation. We talked about the challenges that she had and how we can overcome them. We've got her driver's license back. Brian helped paid for her rent because she was being evicted at the time. She has a real interest to be a CNA, so we paid for her CNA classes.
It made me feel blessed, because I really wasn't expecting that, I wasn't expecting, anything good to come out of this at all. I thought I would have to put up more ads, and I got tired, and I just didn't even care what happened.
To have the Lincoln Police Department make this phone call and connect the dots and give this girl hope made me very proud that they would do that they would even take the time to make this girl's life better and her kids better and to end the cycle instead of putting her in the court system forever with this on her record.
It's far better if this girl never comes up on our radar again than it would be for us to arrest her 2 or 3 more times for the same thing because she just can't get out of the situation that she's in.
Definitely my children are the most important, and I'll do anything for them, and that's just one of the alternatives that I took, and I definitely have learned from it. I was grateful that it wasn't undercover instead of, some creep getting ready to slice my throat or something, I'm glad I didn't get raped or anything like that.
I think it's very important for our community to come together because it's such a small community that we can actually make a good change and a change that can stay in place for years. I also think that it is such a small community that you can't pretend to be ignorant about the issue because it does happen here.
We feel like we've got the kind of community that's gonna step in, gonna step up and help these girls in a way that we couldn't on our own.
And so this is a great story of a girl whose life is on a completely different trajectory because that partnership works.
As long as you learn from all your mistakes, you can keep going, keep reaching your goals. And I just want to keep reaching my goals. I'm extremely happy extremely blessed and appreciated for everything that's happened.